Okay, so this is AQA, November 21, paper 2, questions 18 to the end. And the first question says, number 18 says, on the grid identify the region represented by x less than or equals to 5, y less than or equals to 4, x plus y greater than 6. Label the region R. So for x less than or equals to 5, I start by drawing the line x equals 5. And the less than means I don't want it on this side. It's got to be this side. Okay. Y less than or equals to 4. So I draw the line y equals 4. I want it to be below the line because the y's have to be less than 4. And this last line, x plus y is greater than 6. Well, I draw the line x plus y equals 6. Which I haven't labelled there, so I'll do that now. So if x is 0, y has to be 6. If x is 1, y has to be 5. Right, all the way along. And you've got if x is 6, y has to be 0. Join them together. And they've got to be greater than 6. So it's got to be above. So it's got to be inside there. Number 19. The graph shows the height above ground of a toy rocket for 10 seconds. I've drawn that bit on. I thought I'd taken this once before. I've got into the right middle of these videos. But anyway, so this is, I'm just using my notes. Okay. So that the curve was actually drawn. The other bit I've drawn on. How long is the rocket in the air? So it's from 4 to 10 seconds. Because it's above the height above 0. So it's 6 seconds. Using the graph, estimate the speed of the rocket after 6 seconds. State the units. After 6 seconds, the speed is the gradient of the tangent touching the curve when t is 6. So if we draw a triangle here, so I've drawn it to match the squares here, these corners of these squares. So look at that's going to be 4 because it goes from 6 there to 10. 6 to 10 in height, so that's 4. And this way the units are different, it's actually 2 seconds. So it's 4 divided by 2, which is 2 meters per second. Okay, a square has an area of 0.25 square meters. Circle the area length in centimeters of one side of the square. So if it's a square, the square root of a quarter is a half. So it's a half by a half. Half a metre by half a metre will give us a quarter of a square metre when you square it. So it's 50 centimetres because that's half a metre. 21. X is an integer. Prove that this here is a square number. So I've got 35 and I've got to add 3x plus 1 squared, which I've done in here, which is 9x squared, 3x, 3x. Put this in there. And then plus 1 there, so that's 9x squared, 3x times 1 is 3x, 1 times 3x is 3x, 1 times 1 is 1, so it's 9x squared plus 6x, because they're both the x's, 9x squared, and that's the 1. Okay, so I've got 35 plus 9x squared plus 6x plus 1, and then minus, that's 8x squared, and then 2x times 1 is 3 is minus 6x. So we go across here, 36 is 35 in the 1. X squared, I've got 9x squared minus 8x squared is 1x squared. And I've got 6x minus 6x. So it's 6x plus 6x, which is 12x. Write this as 6x as x squared plus 12x plus 36, which factorises to x plus 6 squared. And that's because 6 times 6 is 36. 6 plus 6 is 12. So it's a number multiplied by itself, so it's a square number. 22. Liam is trying to remember a 3-digit code. He knows the first digit is a cube number, the second is a factor of 16, the third is an odd number. Liam tries at random a code that matches the rules. Work out the probability of getting the correct code. So first digit is a cube number, so digit 1 is 1 or 8, because 3 cubed is 27, so it's too big. Okay, Digit 2, factors of 16. That obviously between 1 and 9. I was wondering about, well, cube number we do say it's 1, it's not 0 cubed, yeah. So anyway, factors of 16, 1, 2, 4, 8. It's also 16, but that would be too big because it just needs to be a single digit. And then digit 3, the third digit is an odd number, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Probability of getting the code correct then, it's a half for digit 1. It's got 1 in 2. Right, so it's got 1 in 2 chance for getting, if he's going to guess 1 or 8. He's going to guess one of these, so he's got a quarter of a chance of guessing it right. And he's going to guess one of these, so he's got 1 in 5 chance. Okay, so it's 1 in 2 times 4 is 8, times 5 is 40. So there's 40 combinations, so he's got 1 chance in 40 to get it right. Number 23, a ship sails from P to Q and then Q to R. Q is 12 miles from P on a bearing of 80, and R is 28 miles from Q on a bearing of 155. Work out the direct distance from P to R. So that's what we need to work out with P. Okay, so here I've put in these angles, co-interior angles or something they're called. But these ones, that one's 100 because they've got to add up to 180 between the parallel lines. Let's do that. So that's 255 there, so we've got 105 there. So this is the cosine rule. D squared is 12 squared plus 28 squared minus 2 times 12 times 28 times the cosine of 105. You work all that out, you get D is 33.2. It's 1 dp. Number 24. Oh, 2 questions to go, not all. The flight of a plane was in 2 stages. Table shows information about the flight. 731, 287, first stage, second stage, that's the distance. That's the speed, starts off at x and drops to x minus 24. And the time in hours. If you remember, speed, the time is distance divided by speed log. 731 divided by x. 287 divided by x minus 24. Okay, or what is it? Speed times time is distance. I think that was the most intuitive. Speed times time is distance. So work out the value of x. In total, the total time here is 2 hours. So we've got this time plus this time here makes 2. Okay, so I multiply through by x, 731 plus 287x over x minus 24 is 2x. And then I multiply through by x minus 24. So 731 times x minus 24 plus 287x, because it divides. Multiply and divide, they cancel out, equals 2x times x minus 24. Then expand these brackets, 731x minus, I would have done that with a calculator, 17544 plus 287x. On this side it's 2x squared minus 48x. So here we've got 2x squared minus 48x minus 731x minus 287x plus 17544 is 0. 2x squared minus all these x's, 1066 times x plus 17544 is 0. Then it looks like I've divided through by 2 to make that 0. And then I've used the quadratic formula. X is minus b minus 553 plus minus square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c, all divided by 2. So it's 533 plus minus all that I would have done with the calculator, and it comes up as 516 for the positive positive 1, we divide it by 2 as well, or 17 for the negative 1. 17 is not appropriate for x, because we can't have 17 taking 24 as the speed. So the one that's appropriate is 516. And the final question. Equation of a curve is y is x squared plus 14x plus 52. By completing the square, work out the coordinates of the turning point. You must show you're working. So y is x plus, we always start with half that number of x's there, x plus 7 squared. Okay, and then if you multiply this out, you get x squared plus 14x. And we also get plus 49, because the 7 squared is 49. So we need to add 3 to make sure we get to 52. So the turning point, the x coordinate is this number with a change of sign, minus 7. And the y coordinate is that exact number, 3. So it's minus 7, 3. Look down there, I've shown you that x plus 7 times x plus 7 is x squared plus 7x plus another 7x, which makes the 14x, but also the 49. So that's why we need to add another 3 on, because we've only got 49 at